Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. Other than that, guys, happy Sunday, God's Day. Reflecting on the week and enjoying my day. I've been fortunate to be very busy with my business lately and working, pretty hard. A little harder than I like to. So I took the morning off. I slept in, went to the gym, did a little bit of shopping. I'm here to do my video, and then I'm going to head out to the north end of Boston for the Feast of Saint Anthony, which is starting tonight. So, what a beautiful day! It's a nice, sunny, warm day, and making the most of it, guys, and that's important. Something I talk about often is finding positive ways to enjoy yourself. Because as much as I'm a workaholic and I like to work hard, and my business is thriving, I'm really trying to make a point of finding more ways to step out and just enjoy life, guys, because that's hugely important. You can't sustain a long-term sobriety if you're not doing things to enjoy your life, and that's hugely important. But let's get into it, guys. Again, you guys know Sunday God's Day, and just so happens that the Just for Today NA meditation is about seeking God's will, which is something I'm huge on. I think it is what has made the difference in my recovery this time around. So, seeking God's will. We learn to be careful of praying for specific things in our active addiction. We usually do not pray for knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry that out. On the contrary, most of our prayers were for God to get us out of the mess we made for ourselves. We expected miracles on demand. That kind of thinking and praying changes when we surrender and turn our will over to God. The only way out of the trouble we cause ourselves is through surrender to a power greater than ourselves. In recovery, we learn acceptance. We seek knowledge in our prayers and meditation of how we should greet the circumstances that come our way. Sorry about that, guys. Can't read my own writing. We stop fighting, surrender our own ideas of how things should be, ask for knowledge, and listen for the answers. The answers usually will not come in a flash of white light accompanied by a drum roll. Usually they will come in a quiet moment with a sense of assurance that our lives are on a course, that a power greater than ourselves is guiding us on our path. We have a choice. We can spend all our time fighting, control the outcomes, or we can surrender to God's will. Peace is found in accepting the ebb and flow of life. And then the affirmation is, just for today, I will surrender my expectations, look to my higher power for guidance, and accept my life. And that's a beautiful thing, guys. Now, that is not to say stop trying. And that's a little something that people often mistake when we start saying we're turning over our will, we're surrendering. It doesn't mean stop taking action. It means exactly that. Stop thinking that you have all the right answers. Stop thinking that you know what the proper outcome could be. So many times for myself, when I've completely abandoned something because I just exhausted my own ability to hammer my head through a wall trying to create an outcome that was unrealistic, I finally just let it go and just focus on something that I know is I can do properly, and then lo and behold, the answer for how to get to where I need to be, so long as it's legitimately where I need to be and for my highest good, will drop into my lap. And again, prayer and meditation. You'll notice I come back almost every single video and talk about prayer and meditation, guys, because for myself, it has made the difference. It's literally what got me started on this path. I had no intention of going into rehab. I thought I was gonna, figure out some doctor medically assisted, and guys, I would have ended up in the methadone clinic, and I'd be a walking zombie out here making a mess of myself. Instead, my life is amazing today, guys. I have choices today. I have opportunities today. I have self-esteem today. I have self-respect today. I get complimented constantly on the work that I'm doing, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and out in my community. And again, it's not about accolades. It's not about being complimented. But guys, obviously that feels good. I like to be recognized for the work that I'm doing, and I like the fact that the work that I'm doing is worth recognizing. Everything is about finding my way for myself today, guys. For me, and again, because I was somebody who was so incredibly lost. I didn't know whether I was coming or going, and it didn't usually matter because I was usually going sideways anyway. All I was doing was, again, bashing my head through walls, thinking I was gonna, create some unrealistic situation to turn out in my favor, and nothing ever did. I was stacking losses at a rate that was terrifying, and it happened for so long. Guys, I'm a very strong-willed person. I work very hard, and I'm very skilled in a lot of ways. So by rights, I should be wildly successful by now, right? 52 years old and working my ass off since I was 15 or 12, probably 12 years old. And up until the last 8 months, I've had absolutely nothing to show for it. Everything I ever put together was taken from me. I can't even call it taken away. I can't even call it taken from me. I readily gave the shit away or abandoned everything over a substance. And that's terrible, right? But again, I don't fret on that because I understand that by doing the work that I'm doing today, I'm taking all that shame and remorse and guilt, and I'm dropping it because I've surrendered it to my higher power. My higher power has shown me a path in front of me that I can now override or outweigh all the bad that I've been through, all the bad that I created, and not have to focus on it anymore because I'm doing good in that same area, and that literally just tips that scale in the opposite direction. I couldn't imagine being where I'm at today. And again, not that I'm some, wildly successful, famous, rich, blah, 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 no. But I'm stable. I'm building financial security. I'm building long-term stability, comfort, right? I'm being elevated at a rate that is way beyond my capability because I've done it through my higher power, whom I choose to call God. My life is second to none today. And again, the only equitable equation comparison will ever give you is comparing where you were to where you are and then where you are to where you're going. And I'm on the fast track to everything I need being in my life. Hell, I have everything I need at any given time. I don't lack for anything other than, physical comforts that I choose not to focus on. And again, I have the resources. I can go out and buy bling and, whatever, a brand new Harley, a new truck, da 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 da, if I wanted to be flashy and, poor. I don't. I want to build long term. And that's the biggest thing, guys, is I was somebody that suffered from that instant gratification need for decades, right? Like, I couldn't get out of bed if I didn't have drugs to put in my system. I literally would not get out of bed. And if I did, I would just, self-defecating, just telling myself, I can't do it, I can't do it. And guys, what you tell yourself is the truth. It becomes your truth, right? Today, I tell myself, life is beautiful, because it is. But it started, before it got that way, I had to tell myself, I had to focus on the beauty in my life so that I could attract beauty into my life and create a life worth actually living. And that's what I'm doing. Again, I'm still a work in progress, guys. I'm barely, not even quite 8 months into my sobriety journey. Well, 9 months into my journey, 8 months of clean time because I did have that slip. And even that, guys, I understand now is for my highest good. I'm going to, I've talked about it a little bit. I'm going to talk about that for a second here. The day that I got a rehab, I was in a structured environment, perfectly happy, no problem. I stayed in rehab until I had my doctor's appointment, so I literally got out of rehab, got picked up, got dropped off directly at my doctor's to get on my Suboxone. Went right to, they medicated me and gave me my script. I went right down and picked up my Suboxone. I got to my house. As soon as I got off, I had to take the red line from Boston back to Somerville. As soon as I got off the red line, all I could think about was, well, can I smoke crack? Can I smoke crack? I gotta get high, right? And I'm like, this obsession is gonna drive me crazy, and I did not want to do it. So I get home, and I'm like, all right, I got to clean all this paraphernalia, all this crap that the cops had saw the last night that I was home. Let's get this house cleaned up. And as I was doing so, I had 100 crack pipes and, just whatever, garbage, baggies, crap everywhere. And lo and behold, as I'm picking up a crack pipe, there's a rock beside it. And guys, without even thinking, I threw that thing in there. I can't even say without even thinking. Before I had a second to weigh the outcome, I threw it in there and I smoked it. And the second I did, I felt terrible. I felt defeated. I'm like, oh my God, is this really, like, am I really going to get home and 5 minutes after I get home, I'm already relapsing? Like, I can't do this. I can't. So I stopped and I dropped to my knees and I said a prayer and I said, God, help me, please tell me what to do. I don't know what I'm going to do here. And God told me, my instant thought was, let's get out of this house. Nothing good is going to happen in this house. I walked across the street and I found a girl who was locked out of her car and she was trying to ask for help at the gas station. And I took the time to be of service and to go help this girl get back into her car. And guys, I drove away and it was like, boom, big light bulb moment. Service, the idea you had for your YouTube channel. This is where you got to focus, because if you're left to your own devices right now, you don't have the strength to make this through. Find an AA meeting, right? Find a group. Like let's dive in. You can't do this on your own. And that's exactly what I did. Next morning, I'm making some phone calls. I bumped into a friend of mine who I knew was in the program. I asked him whether it was a good meeting. This is about 10 o'clock in the morning. He's like, meet me here at 12 o'clock, noontime. Boom, that's been my home group ever since. Right? And I love that group. It's the best meeting I've ever seen in my life. I came home that day and posted my first YouTube video, right? And it was terrible. I was horrible. I was horrified by it, but I posted it. And that was a Friday, so I didn't post all weekend. And then come Monday, I said, you know what? No, I can't do this. I got to do this daily. And I've posted a video every single day from there forward. And I love that, right? That has made the difference. It has kept sobriety at the forefront of my brain. It has kept my disease and the fact that I have a long way to go, and it's kept me thinking about where I was. Again, not dwelling on it, because I won't dwell on it, because I've let that go. I can't dwell on that and invite beauty into my life. So I've got up every morning, dropped to my knees and said my prayers, meditated, right, and gone throughout my day, and then I prayed throughout the day. And then I come home and I post my video and I go to the gym, make myself food, because as I've stepped up, I've realized I gotta get off the processed food. I'm getting up there in age. I gotta make myself as healthy as possible. And I've decided to live a life that leads as example. Not talking an example, but living a life that leads by example. And guys, in doing so, it has made my life miraculously good. It has done things for me that I could not do for myself. It has put me into places and positions where people could offer me things that would help my cause, which is to help others in addiction, to share my story, to overcome and show people what's possible, right? And that's like the highest aspiration I could possibly have. I'm honored to be who I am today. I'm honored to do the things I do today. Not to say that it's all, sunshine and roses. I work my ass off. I get myself, I take on jobs that I've never done before, because I've seen it done and I know the steps. I just, but I know I can make myself do it. But I come home, I'm beat up and I'm sore and I'm happy, right? I don't mind working. I love working. I love living the life that I am. I deposit stuff into my bank account. I go, oh my God, that pipe dream I've had of buying rental properties is quickly coming to my doorstep. Like, I've got the deposit. That's something I could never do. It's it's amazing today, guys, because I'm taking the time to work my program, to be faithful, to build my conscious contact relationship with my higher power, to do things that allow me to look better upon myself, to take the time to think about things. And that's one thing I never did, guys. I didn't stop and contemplate. Contemplation is one of the biggest gifts that we have as humans. It's what separates us from the animals. And if we don't use it, we become robotic. We become animals, and we don't invite growth into our life. If you want better in your life, you've got to start growing and expanding in positive directions. It's as simple as that. I'm not saying that to call anybody out, but it's what I've learned, and it's what has allowed me to get to where I am today, which is by far the happiest I've ever been in my life. I've got opportunities today. I've got hope today. I know, never mind hope, I know I have a conscious contact relationship with my higher power. I've seen the miracles manifest physically in my life, in my heart, in my mind, in my body. And I can't ask for more than that. I've never felt so seen, so understood, so cared for, so a part of a community, so a part of everything today. And I love that, because that's what I was lacking for so long. Guys, life is absolutely amazing when you just make it. But here's the thing, you got to stop cutting corners. That's the biggest difference I've made this time, is I promised myself I would stop cutting corners. And that's all and the more I did it, the more I stepped up, the more I got used to it, the more I could easily identify other areas in my life where I was cutting corners. And come to find out, no wonder I never got anywhere. I was too busy going in circles, because all I did was cut the corners. You can't make a right turn if you're cutting the corner and just walking in a circle, getting nowhere. And it's exactly what I was doing for decades. That's why I get on here and share these lessons, because they help me. I need to be constantly reminded. I need to do these readings and see how they apply to my life, because that's what allows me to see the next right step. Guys, it's absolutely beautiful. Guys, happy Sunday. That is the lesson today. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so very much for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.